Hello, hello everyone. One second. All right. Okay. Hey Witch, hey Agu, hey Minier, hey Frozy, hey Luxless, hey Joe, hey Yoshi, hey Crossover, hey Emmett, hey Witch, hey Minier, hey Vortex, hey Big Jets, hey Maple, hey Luxless, hey Blue Pizza, hey Witch, hey Vortex Studio, hey Mel, hey Agu, hey Minier, hey Rishroom, hey Crossover, hey Luxless, hey Joe, hey Mel, hey Big Jets, hey Lumbo, hey Frozy, hey Crossover, hey Witch, hey Vortex, hey Jesse, hey Witch, hey Agu, hey Yoshi, hey Witch, hey Minier, hey Witch, Cream Pan, Hector, Jesse, Luxulus, Witch, Agu, Mel, Luxulus, Pepsi, Minier, Luxulus, Maple, Jesse, Witch, Lumbo. Okay, I think that's it. Don't look in the ratings. You don't tell me what to do. I do whatever I want to. Probably. Oh, I should probably put my stream on Twitter, huh? Okay. Hopefully my PS4 controller works today. Do I have a DS? I have a 3DS. Whoa! Why is there so many more? Wow, this person's very eager to prove a point. Like, okay. Sega's already been informed of the problem. Oh, everyone's so high. Okay, maybe I should like actually set my character and stuff. Have I heard of the bugs that carried over from Puyo Tetris PC? Yeah. Kinda sad. Oh well. Yeah, really, I don't really plan to play the PC version much at this point if this is how it's gonna be. I think I'll just train on Switch, probably. I don't know. Wait, this is the wrong one. Oh, I will play the mods on PC though. Oh, she has a gun. I like her. Oh, sorry, I gotta take this call for work. I'm back. Sorry about that. Yotaro. Yotaro's in Japan. I wish the music wouldn't turn off when the game loses focus. Okay, sorry about that very long delay. That was, yeah, I had to take a call for work. Oh yeah, you can change the volume levels. Whoa! It's you! Hey, Ghost Sonic. Hey, Tanya Song. Just started playing today. Nice. Fever mode can make you crash. Oh.
Huh. So be it.
Oh, whoa. Whoa, why is my inputs... I'm playing in windowed, by the way. Are you supposed to be playing this in full screen? Hope there's no problems.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My eye tracker might not be
6,
totally accurate
7,
because of the way I'm playing in windowed mode. Is the game music and sound effects too loud compared to my voice? I just want to know. It's fine, right?
1, 2.
Hey!
1.
Oh, you can build around that.
1. 1.
2.
Ow!
1.
Oh, there it is. That's it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Am I playing on ranked or casual?
8.
I'm playing on ranked.
Ascension.
1, 2, 3.
1,
Dragon Tail. Why me?
1, 2.
Why me? Aww.
You will never beat me.
You will never beat me. How's that cough of mine? It's getting a little better. Oh, I have a pretty good graphics card, so maybe that's the reason why I'm not struggling.
Will you cheer for me?
Will you cheer for me?
Ha! So be it.
Do, 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 do.
One, two,
Two.
one,
Oh, I think this should be good.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You will never beat me.
Wowza, that was a lot of reds.
1, 2. Disaster. 1,
Disaster.
2, Let's dance. One, two.
Disaster!
One, two, one,
Disaster!
one. Nuisance. Ugh, that wasn't fun.
You will never beat me!
Is Penglai Sig? How do I both miss a 2-chain all clear? Well, I'm just bad like that, alright. Oh my. Here we go again. Hey, Pringle Daddy. Yeah, eSports.
My name is Ciel. The water's fine. One.
Safe for me to do this.
One. 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 Two. Swim with me. Stop.
Alright, that's it.
One. One. Two. Three. One. Four. Five. 6. 1. 7. 8.
Whoa, they got the dig!
1.
Maybe I should have done a
2,
shorter chain.
3. 4. 5. Le manteau de my calculations. But my calculations. This doesn't add up.
Hey, Stemley.
One.
Oh.
2. I see now. 1. 2. Please go away. I love the water. 1. 2. 3. All within projections. 5. Le manteau de l'ange.
Will this be enough?
2. 3. 4. 5. Please go away.
Please go away.
1. 1. 2. 2. I see now.
I love
But
Cerealy.
my calculations. But my calculations. This doesn't add up.
Oh, whoa, I'm gonna become a rookie! Oh yeah! Yeah!
Ha! So be it!
Are you prepared? Love conquers all.
Well, unless I lose. I think I can do this though. Crap, did I jinx myself?
One. 2. 2. 2.
Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. No!
Someone owes me an apology.
I was waiting
See
for a
you next
yellow.
time.
Why did I do such a bad idea?
One, 2, 1.
Oh boy.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brave heart.
Whoa, I got that.
1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's over for you, Rainbow Deluxe.
It's over for you.
I'm no match. Was there ever any doubt?
The Switch version, like, it'll carry over your ranking from Puyo Puyo eSports, but it won't carry over like your game settings.
One,
Oh boy.
1,
I wonder.
2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 2. Static shock. 3, 4, 5. Brave heart.
Oh.
1, 2. Thrashing time. One,
Thrashing time.
2, 2. Thrashing time.
Wait, what spell is that supposed to
No match. Was
be
there
a
ever
mirror
any
of
doubt?
in the Japanese version? You lost to a frog stacker. Hey. It's all in a day of Puyo.
So
It's
be it.
alright. Just go on to the next fight.
I won't lose.
Alright, I'm a rookie now! Congratulations, S2. I would pat myself on the back if I was flexible enough to reach that far.
1, 2,
1,
Oh, did I?
2,
1, 2.
Oh boy.
Fire breath.
1,
I thought they weren't going to get that.
3, 4.
1,
Devastation.
2.
I didn't know they would clear enough of the garbage from the column 6 to not get blocked.
Why me? Hey. Aww.
You will never beat me. One, 2,
Oh no!
3. Calamity.
2.
Darn it, I can't get... This isn't that strong.
Dragon tail. Hey.
1,
Why
Oh,
me?
1,
this is bad.
2, 3. Calamity.
1, 2. Fire breath. Why me? Aww.
You will never beat me.
What? Where'd you go? Yeah, the PC version is very accessible since you don't have to play without a subscription.
Ever at your service.
Fine, I'll join the fray.
Hartman is really cool. I love Hartman too. Oh?
1, 2. That should do it.
1, 2, 1.
Blade of Kings! She's so dramatic. I love her.
2. Time to get serious.
Impossible! Retreat!
Good. That's the end of that.
Oh? They're not gonna get the all clear.
2. Time to get serious. 1, 2.
Impossible! Retreat!
Good. That's the end of that. It's showtime!
The water's fine!
Yes. Best character.
One, 2.
Oh?
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go!
1, 2.
This is not tail, does it?
Please go away! 6.
Oh,
I did it!
I did it. Hello, Magic Phoenix. I did this the slow way. That's not how that works.
1, 1.
Oh boy, this is bad.
All right! 1, 2.
2,
Oh, I got it.
3, 4, 5,
1,
6.
2.
I did it!
I did it. Oh, why PC? I don't know. For funsies? Are the font is different than on? Oh no. We went so long without the game crashing. No game. I believed in you. Wake up. Okay. Matchmaking. Matchmaking. What? There's maintenance in the afternoon? Wait. Tuesday maintenance? When was that a thing? What? But... What? 7:17 p.m. Is that like a special number? Wow. What am I gonna do for 10 minutes? Since when did I start getting good at Puyo? I've been playing for a long time, but I don't think I really got good until like a couple of years ago. Hey, this PC port's alright-ish. I've just come to accept that as long as Puyo is poverty for now, this is just how it'll have to be. But one day, we'll get solid QA tested PC ports. But until then, we can just focus on training, you know. Oh, I downloaded the Puyo eSports, or the Champions theme on PlayStation 4. It's kind of basic. It doesn't have like menu sound effects, so that's a little disappointing, but whatever. How do I get less scared of online? I don't know. For me, when I just started playing Puyo, how did I become less scared of online? I think I just came to an acceptance that I'm bad, but there's more to learn, and I want to learn. And learning is more important than my trivial feelings of, like, you know, self-pity or whatever. So I played and tried to learn. I don't think that made any sense at all. I don't know. Take the dive, play with friends. That's always good. Are we switching to Switch? I guess so. You're facing more accessible opponents. Tanya Song says, I'm enjoying my time online right now because my rating hasn't risen like it has on Puyo Tetris and I'm facing more accessible opponents. Yeah. It's like, in Puyo Tetris, it's hard to find people your skill level since, you know, you gotta go through like the grind first, since the ratings are so inflated. But here's a little bit quicker, right? Where do you get the PS4 theme? I couldn't find it while searching on the PlayStation itself. I had to... Okay, I guess this is it. The dream's over. Perfect timing! Thank you, Peacock Roy. Okay, where's my... Crap, where's my Switch? Oh, it's in my book bag. Okay, give me a second. The PC servers are back up? Oh my gosh. Oh my. Okay. Loading Puyo. Wait. An error occurred while updating Puyo Puyo Champions. App running. Wait, update? What? But it's not running. I closed the game. Oh my gosh. Is it still like loaded in memory or something? Oh. It didn't close properly. Alrighty, here we go again. TMYK. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's showtime!
What do you do to see the chain number? That's something I made. It's not actually in the game. Well, it's sort of in the game, but it's not something you're allowed to use online, and it's not something I see while I'm actually playing. It's a overlay that runs and displays on the open broadcaster software.
One, two.
Oh, let's get on. Yes!
What happened?
Moves.
Actually, it's probably possible to make a less janky looking overlay for the chain numbers, since on the PC version you can probably just read the chain links directly from memory. But I don't know how to do that. One.
Two.
This should be good.
Two. Three.
It's gonna be hard to like keep tailing.
5, 6,
One,
7, 8,
3,
9,
4,
10.
5, 6,
Spin it.
7, 8. Supernova, stop that!
Whoa, they got really close, huh?
What happened?
Smooth moves.
How's the PC version compared to the other versions? Well, it's a little janky, but I don't know, for me it's not too bad. I know some people have had like slowdown issues, but
Ever at your service. One,
oh,
1, 2, 2, 3, 4,
hey Roy the Dragon.
5, 6. Arc range. 2. But my calculations.
So her sword is
My
called Arc
calculations.
Rage.
But my calculations. This doesn't add up. A job well done.
Who's Kate Higgins? So is it someone I'm supposed to know?
1, 2. Stop. 1, 1,
Cool, it didn't fall in column 2. I'm so lucky.
2, 3, 4, 5.
How is it?
Arc range. But
How's
my
it going?
calculations. But my calculations.
It's going alright, I
This
think.
doesn't add up. A job well done.
Not only have I had like congestion and stuff for the past couple of days, I'm having like stomach aches and stuff too. Being sick kind of sucks. Like, the worst timing, right? Right when Puyo Champions is releasing. But oh well. I'm strong. Probably. Oh, Gelidot! Hello!
be it.
A hero always prevails.
One.
One.
Ow!
Wait, that doesn't complete. Have to set.
One. Two.
Oh wait, is there a blue there?
3. 4.
In column 5?
5. 6.
One.
Mega Grid.
Oh, they put.
2. 3.
Oh,
4. 5.
wow, they're smart.
6. Enjoy. 8. 9. 10.
1.
Ascension.
Wowza.
3. 4. 5. 6. Mega Grid. What the?
1. 2. Disaster. You will never beat me. One. 2.
Are they focusing on attacking?
2.
Oh, wait, or is that a tail? Oh.
4.
Uh-oh.
6. 7.
1. 2.
My ultimate
3.
strike.
4. 5. 6. 7. Cataclysm.
Oh, close. Okay.
1. 2. A hero never loses.
This cannot be.
You may trust in my power.
I missed the all clear. Oh, so did they. That's a-okay with me.
1.
Oh, oops. Is this my chance?
One.
Oh no.
2.
1. 2. Enjoy. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8.
Yellow, please.
10.
1.
11.
Oh, a 12 chain. I can't beat that.
4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. This is the end.
1.
Oh, I beat it.
This cannot be.
You may trust in my power.
I'm in this to
He's
win.
starting soon.
Wait, isn't that kind of weird?
1.
Okay, I'll just set this off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2.
Lapis Lazuli.
3. Cosine. Ow! Ow! Back to square one.
I won.
Twitch is better, really? I don't know. I'm streaming in potato quality on Twitch. Since I'm not like affiliate or anything.
1,
1.
1, 2. Acid wash. 1,
1.
2, 3, 4, 5. Lapis lazuli.
Back to square one.
I won.
Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, that makes me happy. I have them at the moment. No, why game? Let's play again if you can. Hey Galmon. Banned.
Are you prepared?
A hero always prevails.
Hey family warrior. How am I? I'm happy now that we have this game to carry us along while we wait for Puyo Puyo 30th anniversary.
One,
Oh no.
2,
3. Frost!
1, 2. This is the end.
No!
Did I? Oh, that's bad. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3, 4, 5, 6.
Puyo Puyo 40th anniversary. You're really looking ahead.
someone owes me an apology.
You may trust
Imagine
in
if
my
Puyo
power.
Puyo 30th doesn't get localized. I believe it will. I trust Sega. Even though they live all the way in California, I'll do a trust fall with them. That's how much I trust them.
1, 2. One,
I don't really get
1,
1, 2, 3, 4,
1,
5, 6, 7, 8. My ultimate strike. You may
someone owes
trust
me
in
an
my power.
apology.
You know, I've never done trust falls before. It just seems, I don't know, dangerous. Wait, is that because I don't trust people? Whoa, wait,
It's my turn.
this is my promotion?
Fine, I'll join the fray.
Oh, hey, Juice, no problem. Okay, let's see if I can get L-shape correct. Hmm.
1,
Oh, gotta block that.
2,
1, 2.
1,
Oh,
2.
1.
should I have tried? Oh no, that's 4 lines. Yeah, I wasn't going to be able to. Whoa, they're extending so far.
7, 8.
But wait, don't their purples cut?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Judgment! Hey, stop!
Oh, lucky.
Hey, stop! Uh-oh.
Good. That's the end of that.
I'm glad they didn't notice that. Hmm.
1,
Is that where it starts?
2,
1, 2.
1.
Hmm. They need a lot of purples and.
Ah, well played.
Oh, that's how it works.
A worthy foe.
A worthy foe.
No! Uh-oh.
That's the end of that.
I'm an amateur now. Exciting.
Will you cheer for me?
Thank you,
My name
everyone.
is CL.
Wait, am I supposed to be putting my channel name and my Steam username? Is that like the marketing strategy?
One.
I haven't been doing that.
1, 2,
Let's dance.
3. All within projections.
One.
But my calculations.
Oh gosh.
1,
One.
2.
Two.
I see now.
Three. What fortune?
What fortune.
1, 2,
One.
1, 2.
One. Two.
Stop.
Okay.
One,
Oh, I need greens.
1.
Okay, I think I have a
One.
decisive chain now. I just have to set this off. There's not enough space for them to beat this, right?
Two. Three.
1,
Four.
2.
5, 6, 7. May I cut in?
But my calculations.
May I cut
This
in?
doesn't add up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is unsafe, but I don't care.
One. Two. Let's
But
dance.
my
Oh,
calculations.
that worked.
This doesn't add up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, it's the mid-level guy. We're in professional league. What's after amateur? FWA. What is that?
Are you prepared?
Ha! So be it.
Forwards aerial? Is that like a Smash convention? Oh.
1, 2.
Ow! 1, 2.
1, 2.
Why are you rushing me?
2, 3. Enjoy!
1,
5.
2.
Cataclysm!
Thrashing time. No! No! Someone owes me an apology.
You will
I
never
don't know.
beat
When
me.
is it? I have been thinking lately that that I don't really get out of my house to do much. I should really start doing things. Oh.
1, 2. Disaster!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2.
Static shock.
Is this tail good?
Three.
I think so.
4, 5, 6, 7. Enjoy!
Enjoy!
Ascension!
I'd love that counter move.
never beat me.
Bicycle repair. Oh no. Is this a small business?
Cheer for me?
If I win, will they lose money?
Goo-goo-goo! My name is Ciel.
I'm sad. I don't want to be the bad guy.
1, 2.
Who am I kidding? I thirst for destruction. Alright, here we go.
1, 2, go! 3, 4, 5, 6.
Momocon with less lines. Oh, Tokyo Attack's coming back.
All according to
Oh.
calculations.
Registration's kind of expensive. Oh. Money. Wait, what?
All according to calculations.
So my headcanon is that Ciel does taxes. What do you guys think?
Shall we?
Puyo
Come
Puyo
on, it's
eSports
fine.
caps.
Go!
Yeah, you can switch between Japanese and English voices.
One, 2, 3, go! 4, 5, 6, go! 7, go! I did it!
Yes, Ciel does tax fraud.
Go!
That's why she's so good at math.
Go, go! Go! Go, go! Go! Go, go! Go, go!
It's true. My uncle who works at Nintendo told me that Sega made that backstory for her.
Go! Go!
Oh my.
Go! Go, go, go!
Well,
1, 2, go! Please go away! I love the water! Go! Go! Go, go! Go! Go, go! Go, go! Go, go, go! My name is Ciel.
it's Thursday.
All.
So wait, when is this convention? Like, what's the date? My dream is to one day have a carbuncle onesie. Once I have that, I don't know. I don't know what else to do with my life.
1.
One.
1.
Oh, that could have been bad.
1.
Whatever, I'll just go with
2.
this.
3.
This is tail.
5. 1. 6. 2. 7. 3. 8. 4. 9. 5. 10. Le manteau de l'ange. Love's light.
That's an interesting way to...
1.
Oh, that's powerful. Powerfully cool. I want a chain like that. Wait, are you hesitating?
2.
Okay, let's gain the advantage.
2. 1.
Alright, here we go.
1. 2. 3. 4. 1.
Oh, Steelix, are you still in the Twitch chat?
Great heart!
There's gonna be a Puyo Puyo Champions tournament at
My
CEO.
calculations! But my calculations! This doesn't add up. See you next time!
Like actual Puyo Puyo Champions. Oh, you probably won't go. Yeah, I probably won't either. Like I want to, but I don't know. I'm already scheduled for Evo and money. I wish it could be a world warrior, but I'm also a poor real human. So
Be starting soon.
wait, you might anyways. Oh, I love this lag. Yep. Delay after every placement. Exciting.
One, 2,
Sorry.
3,
1.
4,
Am I getting you guys sick?
6. Lapis Lazuli.
Do-re-mi!
My 1.
What is the Tetris counterpart to Puyo Champions? You mean Tetris 99? Oh my gosh, I hate this. I mean, I love this. Ah!
1, 2,
1. 2.
1.
Oh, Asian guy, MP4, only 24 characters. Oh, wait, is that
Four.
an actual limit on super chats?
2.
Oh, wait, you meant the game. Wow, I'm always having these misunderstandings.
Do-re-mi!
My 1.
Yo, achievement unlocked, intermediate magician. Ace.
Let's rock!
Very good!
Oh my gosh! Why? I just wanna. Why? Don't do this to me. I hate everything.
One, 2, 3,
1,
4,
2,
5,
3,
6.
4.
Exploding me!
Broken night. Not bad.
I want to get a promotion, but not like this. Thank you, Panacea, for the $10 super chat.
Gotta go with the flow.
Did you enjoy my technique?
Literally, it's like an entire second. my gosh. Well, it could be worse. They could have like teleporting pieces. Okay, they're gonna max out at a 5 chain, right? This is probably good enough.
2, 3, 4,
5, 6.
7.
Wait, it's playing full speed.
Fighting Queen.
Not bad.
Whoa, it stopped. Oh. Welp.
Not bad. Gotta go with the flow.
Did you enjoy my technique?
My internet. Hey, I'll have you know that I have gigabit internet. The gigabit internet spreading all around Atlanta, which is really nice. I have 1,000 per
It's my turn.
1,000 megabytes up and down.
Let the experiment begin. One, two.
They're not ready for this.
Hey, stop!
1, 2.
1.
Tenderness.
Comcast, I remember those days.
A resounding success.
Well, maybe things will get better soon.
One.
I won't go for the risk.
1, 2, 3,
This should be okay, right?
4, 5,
Oh,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Devotion.
I feel bad about maxing out at 11 chains.
A resounding success.
I need to get better at chaining into the like 13 region. Like I need to be like Shibakazu.
It's my turn.
Hey T-Storm, first time watching live? Welcome.
Let's go.
Will I watch the Puyo Champions tournament at Stunfest next weekend? Wait, do we already know a stream time? Just wondering.
1.
Oh,
1.
2, 3, 4.
Hey, stop! Uh-oh, yeah!
It's just that I know that my chaining ability doesn't match the high tiers in Japan. I still have a lot more to work on. Is this for real? So many purples.
1. Ow! 1.
Oh,
3. 1. 2. Blast. 3. 4. 1. 5. I won't lose.
I won't lose.
1. 2. Thanks for waiting. Hey, stop! Uh-oh, yeah!
How do I use L shape? I don't know either. Oh, okay. I don't plan to stream for long, actually. Because I still have to work on the chainsaw. Oh, whoa.
1. 1. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was... I'm such an idiot. Oh my gosh. Why did I think that would work? Oh my gosh.
Do, re, mi.
Recording service. Oh, do you have a Nintendo Switch? That looks like a big 2 chain.
1,
Oh no, that's a 3.
1, 2, 3. Please go away. 1, 2, 3. By popular request. 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 4. La da. 1. Help! Do, re, mi.
By popular request. Oh, is that the Hellfire?
1, 2, 1.
Somehow I just knew that was going to happen, but then I still didn't do anything about it.
2. Don't hurt me.
Doremi always goes for that really often,
1, 2.
especially when it's 1-1.
Do, re, mi.
I should start using first to 2 strats too.
Let's rock! Be starting soon.
First to 2 is scary. Well, I am glad that the Puyo Cup in Japan doesn't use first to 2 anymore. Like, thank God. Like, I understood why they were doing it before,
1.
but I still don't agree.
1.
So I'm glad it's different now. Uh-oh.
1, 2,
Uh-oh.
1. Acid wash. Not bad. Gotta go with the flow.
Actually, I think I might have been able to make that if I hadn't hesitated. Whoops. Oh man. Although I would say it was kind of wild, just like since it was first to 2, people playing in the Puyo Cup would go for like really ridiculous things. So maybe that was a plus. Maybe.
1. 1.
But now it's first to 10, so whatever.
1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, 4, 7, Celadon, 8, 9, 1, 2. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wait, what? I'm just getting started.
Do I think there will be any Puyo Puyo Champions tournaments here in Georgia?
1.
I don't know. Is that a Hellfire? Oh my gosh. Help! I need purples.
1, 2, 1.
I'm an idiot. Wait,
1,
I'm a genius.
2, 1, 3, 4. 1, 2. Acid wash. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wait, what? I'm just getting started. Let's rock.
Shall we?
One. One, 2,
1,
3,
Oh, this is bad.
4. Broken night.
1,
Is that
Two.
oh, that connects. Yeah, that's fine.
4. Allow me. 6, 7.
Wait, Darkness Drive?
Fist glitter.
Not bad.
Darkness Drive.
Gotta go with the
I thought it was
flow.
Darkness Dive.
Victory is mine.
Oh, I don't know how to use L-shape this way, but I'm gonna figure it out.
One.
One,
1.
2.
Not bad.
Oh, nice.
One,
2.
2.
I like this fever medley.
4, 5,
1.
6, 7, 8. Royal carrot.
1.
Royal
Not bad.
carrots.
Gotta go with the flow.
Yes, victory is mine.
I should eat more carrots.
A hero always prevails.
Very good. One,
Oh!
one, 2. Rock punch.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
4.
This is the end. 6, 7, 8,
Hey, like my tail?
9, 10,
1.
11. My ultimate strike.
You'll pay for this.
You may trust in my power.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh.
One,
1,
1,
2, 1.
1, 2. Rock punch.
Oh boy.
1.
What the?
I reacted really late.
I can't lose.
Did you enjoy my technique?
I didn't realize it would just be that. I'm not really looking.
One,
1,
1, 2.
Two.
A hero
Never
never loses.
loses.
1.
How dare you! 1,
1, 2,
1,
3, 4, 5,
1,
6,
2.
7, 8. My ultimate strike!
Oh no! You'll pay for this!
You may trust in my power.
You may trust in my power. I'm a Puyo disciple. Lagnus Baguette edit.
My turn!
I think I still have it saved on my computer. Let me look. Oh, I don't.
Ever at your service!
Really unsafe, but I don't care. Actually, I care a lot, but I want an excuse for when I lose because I don't know how to own up to my actions.
1,
Oh
2,
crap.
1, 2, 3. Defensive formation. 5, 6, 7. Arc rage. Uh-oh, a job well done. One, 2. Ow! 1, 2,
Oh,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 8, 2, 9, 3,
a power 10. Uh-oh.
5, 6,
This isn't good.
7, 8, 9. Let there be impossible.
I had to go up one more.
Impossible. Retreat. Victory. One. 1, 2.
I'm stuck.
1, 2.
Wait,
3.
you're going for the extension?
Behold my power.
Whoa, wait a second.
Take that. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,
I can't
Two.
beat a 9.
3,
Sad.
4, 5. Arc rage. Impossible. Impossible. Retreat. Victory.
Huh? It's the chain numbers you should be seeing on the on the screen. That's the spectator assist. It's not normally available in the game.
Love conquers all. The water's fine.
The water's fine. I'm so glad that the random select keeps picking Cyrilli. She's the best villain of them all.
One, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1,
Wait, is it not working?
2, 1, 3, 4, 1, 5,
Oh man.
6.
Are you sure?
I'm no match.
Oh, what the heck? Come on. I hate having so many moving parts in my stream. It makes it difficult to like manage consistently.
1. One.
Okay, let me check.
2.
Oh, here you go.
5. 6. 7.
Here we go. It should show up now. My bad.
No match.
I thought it was on this whole time. Thank you for letting me know.
Love conquers all.
Be starting soon. One. Good.
I feel the love.
I wonder why they didn't.
1. 2. Acid wash.
Is that amazing? Uh-oh. Wait, what?
I'm no match.
My 1.
You're so sad someone commented Mean Bean Machine 2 on the Champions trailer. Hey, sometimes people make, you know, genuine mistakes. I don't think they mean any harm.
1.
As a Puyo community, it's our job to... Well, actually, it's Sega's job. But, sort of, it's our job to inform people nicely.
1. 2.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, crap. I should have just set off my chain.
Oh boy.
I didn't read that.
Wait, what?
See you next time.
Hmm.
1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6.
Oh, that cuts. I am so sad. That could have been a lot better.
3. 4.
Whoops.
6. 7. 8. I'm no match.
My 1.
Vortex Studio says, S2, I just bought Puyo Puyo Champions on PC, and I love it a lot, and I'm going to give it a 10-star review. It's the best game ever in existence. Thank you, Sega, very much. Wow, I really like your enthusiasm, Vortex Studios.
Fine, I'll join the fray.
Hey, I don't have the Baguette Lagnus picture anymore, so I don't know what happened. Probably when I reformatted my computer. Wait, what am I doing? Crap.
1. 2.
Oh, I need blues!
Frost.
I messed up!
2. 3. Take this.
Wait, what?
1.
They didn't immediately destroy me?
Time to get serious.
Time to get serious. I like how
One.
Hartman's character quirk is that he's like
Three.
saying he's going easy on people
2.
because he's too proud to admit defeat.
Someone owes me an apology.
Good. That's the end of that. One, two.
Okay, this should be good.
2,
1.
3, 4. A worthy foe.
A worthy foe. When I grow up, I want to be
Someone owes me an
dramatic.
apology.
Good. That's the end of that.
The way to describe Ali as neither from Porp nor Primtown, it's just like, did her universe ever actually get a real name besides like being in the book? XLG, is this like which esports team is that? I'm already grown up. Emotionally, I'm not. I still like to eat cookies. Extra large gaming.
It's potion time.
Ha! So be it.
Do they eat Big Macs for like their meals? I want to get sponsored by McDonald's. I want an extra large Big Mac. I'm hungry. Wait.
1.
1, 2,
1. 2.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
1.
6.
2.
Cataclysm!
1.
You know, I never got the chance to like supersize
That.
a meal at McDonald's while they were still doing the supersize thing. My family was too poor for McDonald's. We ate at Burger King instead.
1. One.
1.
Oh, that's just
2.
1,
Meteor shower.
2, 3,
sponsor KFC.
5.
1.
I wish.
Meteor shower. Stop that. Stop that. What happened?
You will never beat me.
What does favoriting replays do in Puyo Puyo Champions? It prevents it from accidentally getting overwritten by like the auto replay saving. Well, the thing about Burger King is they're just very
Very good.
inconsistent. I don't know. Well, at least here in Atlanta.
Love conquers
I remember like they had like the Cheeto Puff filling fry thing, and I went to get it at one place and it was super good. Then I went to another place and they gave me like burnt toast, which is very sad.
all. 1. 2. Oh no. 1. 2. 3. for this. See you next time.
Huh. Okay, how about... Oh, there's 3 chaining.
1, 2. Rock punch.
Okay, well I can block that one.
2. All for love. 1. How dare you?
Oh, that's gonna be hard to climb out of a little bit.
2.
I might be real. Oh,
Melody scale.
melody scale.
How dare you? You'll pay for this. See you next time. It's my turn.
Oh. Shinmei, you pointed out my really old panels on Twitch. I need to delete them all. That's embarrassing. Let me go fix that right now. Oh wait. I just haven't streamed to Twitch in like forever. Like I forgot what I used to do on this site.
1, 2.
2.
Uh-oh.
You will never beat me.
Hmm.
1.
1.
1. Will I ever get
2.
1, 2.
I finally got blues.
1. 1. 2.
Oh no.
4.
I need
5. Judgment.
1, 2. Disaster.
I needed blues. I took a big risk for no reason. Darn.
Victory.
Hmm.
1.
Okay, S2. Safe chaining. I can do it. Safe chaining.
1,
Safe chaining.
2.
Yeah, who am I kidding? I love doing what ridiculous
You
things.
will never beat me.
Okay, Twitch TV. Oh. Where is this? God dang it, how do I view my own channel? Okay, edit panels. Oh, we don't need to advertise that anymore. Oh, oh. Hey.
1.
Oh wait, this isn't all clear. What was I thinking?
3, 4, Devastation! Not bad!
Devastation. 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 Devastation.
1, 2, 3. Calamity! Gotta go with the...
One.
One. Not bad. 1, 2.
Oh, that's gonna be bad. Oh, help me.
One.
1,
2.
disaster!
2. 1.
What?
1, 2.
1.
2, 3. Calamity! Not bad!
Okay.
Gotta go with the flow.
You will never beat me.
What controller do I use on PC? I use a PS4 controller. I don't know why it doesn't forward YouTube chat to Twitch. Confusing. Oh, I think it's because I'm not like actually using Restream's streaming service, so it doesn't activate all the way, I guess. I'm really only using it for the chat bot. That's my theory as to why it's not working, and I don't know how to get it to work.
1.
Oh boy. Ah, no.
1.
Wait. Actually, I'll be fine.
1. 2. 3.
How's the PC version faring compared to the console versions? Well, it's glitchy, but you can play Puyo at least.
What happened? Do re mi.
And it's not like it crashes mid-game or anything, usually. Never. Possibly. Not. Don't quote me on it, because the next thing you know, the game actually will crash. I don't want to jinx it.
1. 1. 1. 2. 1.
1.
1. 2. 3.
Streamlabs chat box. Does that
5.
does that go between both YouTube and Twitch?
Have an encore. Stop that. 1. Stop that. What happened? Do re mi.
Maybe I should just like buckle down and learn how to write a bot myself that can do chat forwarding. That's probably what I should do.
Love conquers all. The water's fine.
Hmm.
1. 1. 1. 1.
Oh no!
2,
Oh, that's
3, 1. Two, 3,
that was a 4.
please go away. 6, 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 9, 4, 10, 5, 11, 3, 4. I'm no match.
It's because, okay, so in order to stream in 2 different quality settings to YouTube and to Twitch,
1, 2.
wow, I fell for that.
Hurt me.
You have to
1,
pay money.
2. 1,
I don't want to pay money.
1, 2,
Oops, I messed that up.
3. Naughty girl! Don't hurt me! See you next time!
Hmm.
1, 2.
Oh, they didn't see that?
I'm
Nice.
no match.
They had the blues in you, but... Hey, that wasn't a lucky win. I worked hard. This music, a callback to 2004? Yeah, same. I love Fever. I grew up with it. A little. Oh, it does. Oh, it does. Relay chat. Yeah, I want. Wait, well, I don't want the widget. I want it to actually appear in the chat.
Let the experiment begin!
Go.
Oh, look, an all clear that we missed.
Go.
Not good!
Okay, here we go.
Go.
Fury! Back to the
Phew,
drawing
lucky.
board!
Go.
It's always good when you're not the one on the side missing the all clear. Oh,
1, 2, 3,
Go.
affection!
Go.
that was a rush.
Go.
I had to decide a bit for how I was going to react.
Go. Go.
1, Fury! Back to the drawing board!
Go.
Oh, don't say things like that, Roy. We're all here just to have fun. Using powerful magic, destructive
good.
spells in a virtual setting against each other. Just kind of like how in Fortnite you shoot magic bullets that don't cause any blood. Or is there blood? I've never actually played Fortnite. Am I missing out?
It's potion time.
That's a 2.
1, 2, 2.
Alright, here we go.
Return fire!
Oh wait, they have a...
Oh no!
I'll just set this off. Because they can fight back with that, but it
Two.
doesn't like beat
3,
a power 5.
4, 5. Star Blast! 2, 3, 4. Iron Fist! Oh no! Oh no!
Alright, good.
You'll pay for this. That all you got?
What is that Cereally health bar? It's my donation boss. If you donate super chats on YouTube, it attacks Cereally and causes her HP to go down. Is that?
1, 2, 1.
I think
2,
that's too much of a commit to
3,
doing the attacks, right?
4,
Is it?
5,
Huh.
6, 7.
Is this gonna be fine?
9, 10. Supernova! 1,
Well,
2,
no time to worry
3,
about that. Let's chain
4.
fast.
Iron Fist! Oh, no! Oh no! You'll pay for this. That all you got?
Does S2 play Smash? I play a little bit, but not like super seriously.
I'm in this to win.
Will you cheer for me?
Cannonball. Thank you, Floral. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support.
1,
So everyone, do you think Arl will get into Smash?
1,
Oh!
2,
Oh no!
3,
Hey! Okay.
4,
2,
5.
3,
Algorithm!
Is S2 a good singer?
5,
No.
6. Easy enough. 8.
Easy enough.
How's this strike you?
How's this strike you?
Back to square one.
Thank you. Thank you.
One.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. May I cut in?
Back to square one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's not have this kind of conversation about the Puyo characters. Like, well, I'm going to remove the messages. Okay, calm down everyone. Peer discussions only, please.
The water's fine.
It's showtime.
Oh, it was YouTube chat. Hmm.
1, 2. All right.
All right.
1. Smooth moves.
Oh, an all clear start.
You actually did it!
I missed. Wait.
One,
Oh, I did it.
two.
I did it. Way down before.
1, 2,
Oh.
3. Please go away!
Oh no!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why did I?
One, two, three,
1.
4. Let's go!
Elaine Wang
Hurt me!
with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much.
Smooth moves.
Thank you. I could have used the 2 reds. Oh. Oh, it's void.
Will you cheer for me?
Oh my gosh. No. Not this frame. No. What? Oh. Why? Not like this. Oh, wait, I didn't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. May I cut in?
Okay, I have to adapt.
Nuisance. Nuisance. Ugh, that wasn't fun.
To make sure I don't misdrop. Oh, that was like sped up a little.
One, 2.
Okay. They can still set off their chain. Oh, wait.
Ugh, that wasn't
Whoa,
fun.
what? They just placed 2 more pieces. What? That was so weird. Okay, that was an experience.
So be it.
I won't lose!
One, 2,
Oh, I forgot. Oh, wait, no, I didn't
2,
mean.
3,
Oh.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ascension.
Why me?
Yeah, for some reason, the lag handling on like the console versions is way better than PC.
You
I don't
will
really
never
understand.
beat me.
But I won't begin to make assumptions about like why it's lagging. Networking is like the most mysterious force. Who knows why things go wrong sometimes.
1, 2.
Hey!
There's like so many factors. I won't stress over it.
1.
1, 2,
Oh, my yellow's cut
3,
there. Oh no.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
1.
9. Ascension.
2. Why me? Why me? Aww.
You will never beat me.
It's potion time!
Let's rock.
DMZ that switch. Oh, is that router setting? I don't know. I haven't really done anything special with my Switch. Seems to run fine. Wait, isn't there?
One.
Wait, is that?
2, 3, 4. Gravity slam!
1, 2, 3, 4.
1,
Uh-oh.
Broken Knight.
2. Meteor shower!
Not bad.
Okay, that's the advantage.
1,
Okay, here we go.
1,
1,
2,
2.
3.
Just watch.
Not bad.
1,
1, 2. Meteor shower!
Not bad.
gotta go with the flow.
That all you got?
One,
1, 2.
1, 1, 1.
Okay, big chain, let's go.
3,
2,
Scream it out.
3, 4. Return fire! 6,
1,
7,
2.
8,
Just
9,
watch.
10,
1,
11, 12, 13. Supernova!
Not bad. Not bad.
gotta go with the flow.
That all you got?
Puyo theme channel. Wait, whose? Oh, it's Kane.
It's potion time! The water's fine.
I need to work on making my channels and or my videos and production quality and basically everything a lot better.
1,
Oh,
2,
okay, I can
1,
block that.
2.
2.
One. 1. 1, 2.
Oh,
Meteor shower! 2, 3. Please go away! 5,
oh, I might get outchained here. That's a really good turnaround.
7, 8,
Actually, uh-oh.
9, 10. Cannonball!
Oh, that's lucky. That could have been really, really
What
powerful.
happened?
No, I don't know how to use this form. But I'll try.
1,
Oh,
1. One,
oh no,
Two,
this is so
one.
bad!
two,
Save me! Oh no, I can't do anything!
5. Star blast! Don't hurt me!
Wait, actually, I saw a solution. Wow, I gave up so quickly.
That all you got?
Wow, I'm disappointed in myself. Maybe I should like focus instead of being dramatic.
One. 2. No! 1, 2. 1,
Oh,
2, 3. 1, 2,
here we go.
3, 4, 5,
Is he meant to give up as something is difficult?
7,
I don't want to give up!
2. Meteor shower! Stop that! Stop that!
Well, sometimes I want to give up. Oh, my Puyo theme channel. I don't know though. I really only have Puyo on this channel. I feel like for the sake of my
It's potion time!
future stability, I should branch out to other games. But I'm not good at anything that's not Puyo.
Let's go! One. 2. Meteor shower! 2. 1.
Actually, there was a faster build order for that, wasn't there?
1. Whoa!
Oh boy.
1,
Okay, I got it.
2, 3, 4, 5. 6.
I won't lose! I won't lose! I won't lose! I won't lose! I won't lose!
Luminescence, stop that! Stop that!
I love this game.
What happened? Yeah! 1. 1.
Oh, here we go again! Oh my gosh!
1.
Oh,
1, 2, 3. I won't lose. Tempest. 2. Meteor, stop that!
oh, what? Oh my god! Green!
1, 2, 1, 2. I won't lose. 1, 2, 3. 1 beam. 2, 3, 4. I won't lose. Stop that! What happened? Yeah!
Huh? Two-legged giraffe says, S2 earlier you said to just dive into online to get confident, and that has worked. Thanks. Really? To the beat. It's the Raimi.
The water's fine.
Wait, did the all clear? Oh, there's an all clear match.
One. One. Don't hurt me.
Wait, how come I didn't get my P?
One. One. Help! One. Two. Three. One. I like the two. Three. By popular request. One. Two. Swim with me. One. Two. La la la. One.
This is bad. I'm really falling really behind.
One.
They're gonna just build around that.
1, 2, 3. Listen to this. 2, 3.
Whoa! I totally planned that. Yes. I did it. Yes.
Do re mi.
Okay, let me guess. Hellfire start.
1, 2.
I misdropped. I'm
1, 2. Oh no!
wow, I'm so angry at myself. I think I could have had that better.
3, 2. Such harmony! Don't hurt me! Do re mi.
And now that's a normal start.
One, two, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, is that gonna work in time?
Do re mi.
I'm so bitter about that misdrop earlier. I'm so amazed by that first round too. I didn't know I was capable of that. I'm really proud. I need to see that again. Review how that happened.
It's my turn. My name is CL. One.
Wait a second. Punish.
One.
Let's go.
2.
Wait, their garbage didn't fall. What? Wait, what's going on?
1.
Didn't they get a line?
Uh-oh.
Wait,
All according to calculations.
I thought I saw more than that. I'm confused. Did my harassment just disappear? I need to look at that again. Surely I'm seeing wrong, right? I'm not using my pieces sufficiently right here. That's gonna be third. Oh, they're attacking.
1, 3, 2, ice storm. 3, 4. All within projections. 6, 7, 8. Bouclier de l'ange. Hey, stop! 1. Uh-oh. All according to calculations.
Oh, it was just the lag? Okay.
Love conquers
Let's
all.
rock!
One day, I'll be strong enough to go toe-to-toe with the best in EVO. That's my dream.
One, 2, 3, 1,
We were in summer vacation.
5,
Oh, nice.
6, 7, 1, 8.
2,
Love life.
3, 4.
You can become a pro Puyo Puyo streamer and make like
Not bad.
$30,000 a month in endorsement money,
Gotta go with the
travel the
See you
world,
next time.
exterminate all the mosquitoes. What else can you do? I don't know. Eat ramen noodles? I see that. I see that. I see that.
2, 3.
Everyone hates me.
Love. 5. Great heart.
Not bad. Not bad. Gotta go with the flow.
See you next time.
Wow, this hasn't happened in a while. Please go easy on me. Let's be friends. This should be fun. Just one more. Let's play again, if you can. I'll swap characters. I'm sorry. Thanks for joining. Okay. Oh, it's Kirby combo! Hey! How you doing? I'm fine, thank you.
Fine, I'll join the fray.
Ha! So be it.
I'm committing way too hard to try and make these tails really pretty, but I want it.
1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's so pretty. I'm probably going to lose though.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Well played. Burn it, winged.
With a chain that unbalanced, I couldn't really chain on the front.
Cannot be.
Good. That's the end of that.
I'm sorry, I just wanted that. Oh? Yo, that mistake! Okay, let's punish. Here we go. Let's do it.
2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 5, 3.
Take this! So annoying! So annoying! Did I hold back too much?
Am I going to MomoCon? I think so. Probably. Are you going to MomoCon?
One.
Hmm.
One.
2.
Oh, here we go.
1, 2.
No,
2,
I messed that up.
3, 4,
Uh-oh.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, that was still pretty good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Verdict win. So annoying.
3.
So annoying.
How do I feel about the lack of a single-player practice mode in Puyo Puyo Champions? Or any tutorials? It's unfortunate that they're not there. I think it might have been smarter to wait to release this later when they did add in those things. I don't know.
I'm in this to win. I'm in this to win.
You can't just set the CPU to easy and just do the max chain limit. Oh no.
1, 2, 1, 2. Sign. 1, 2. Ow. 1,
Oh, come on.
2, 1,
Oh, this is still bad. Ah!
2. I'm at square one.
I didn't build around the garbage very well. Oh, not going for the Hellfire opener? That's new. Ah, I'm too slow. Wait, I got an extra piece?
Back to
Why?
square one. I'm at 100%. The water's
A
fine.
hero always prevails. One.
They're not ready to fight.
One.
Well, they will be.
2. Swim with me.
1, 2. A hero.
Oh. Okay, I have to get ready for retaliation. I need to get greens.
1.
Come on, blue now.
One, 2,
1,
3,
2,
4,
3,
5,
Oh, my tail.
5,
7,
My chain isn't that strong.
7,
9.
8. This is
Whoa! Wow, that
11.
wow, amazing.
Don't hurt me.
I definitely didn't make my tail as good as that.
You may trust in my power.
Oh, there it is. The Hellfire opener.
1, 2.
Oh my gosh.
1, 2.
I gambled and didn't get the colors.
1, 2.
1,
A hero never
2.
loses.
Don't hurt me. No.
You may trust in my power.
What? Again?
Let's go. It's my turn.
Maybe I should opt for a specific form in general to count the Hellfire openers. Like an option select kind of thing.
1, 1, 1. 1, 1.
Oh, this will be a good chain.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 7, 8,
Wait,
9,
is that a better chain?
10,
Oh,
11,
oh,
1, luminescent, 2,
wait, the blue's cut. I'm fine.
4, 5, 6, 7. Judgment! Hey, stop! Hey, stop! Uh-oh, yeah!
Oh, and all clear.
1, 1, 2, 2. Thanks for waiting. 1, 2, 1. Thanks for waiting. 2. Fireball!
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 2, fairy fire, 3, ice storm. Hey, stop! Hey, stop! Uh-oh, yeah!
Hey, Sean, what's up? Is Puyo Puyo Saga Ages worth it?
I'm in this
In
to
my
win.
extremely biased opinion as a Puyo fan, a super duper Puyo fan, yes, it's very worth it. The English, the English translation that comes with Sega Ages Puyo Puyo is just so funny. Cracks me up. Like, the memes we get from that game are eternal. It's so good. Hmm.
1, 1.
Hey, ready?
1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. One, two,
No, wait.
three,
Does this work?
four,
It does work! Yes! Yes!
6, 3, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
12,
9,
13, 14!
have an encore! Ow! Back to square one. Do, re, mi!
Yay! I did it! I sacrificed some of my life force for that 15 chain. You're welcome.
My name is Ciel.
Will you cheer for me?
Bad GTR. Don't punish me, please. Wait, can I get them?
One.
Column 1! Column 1! Column 1! Yes!
1, 2,
Here we go!
2. Easy enough. 4.
1, 2.
5. May I cut in?
But my calculations. This doesn't add up.
Thank you. Thank you.
One,
1. 1.
1,
1.
1, 2,
1.
3,
1.
4, 5, 6, 7,
1.
8, 9,
1.
10.
2. 3.
Bouclier de l'ange.
4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Easy enough. 13. 14.
Oh. If I had gotten the blues over there, this could have been a
My
16.
calculations. This doesn't add up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm professional! I was channeling Shiba Kazi right there. It's over now.
Ever at your
Never
service.
again.
Let's go. One,
Don't. Not column 1. Not column
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6. Fairy fire! Impossible! Impossible! Retreat! Yeah! One,
Oh.
1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5.
Oh, a 19 chaining beginning.
One.
19 chain and Puyo versus 2.
Impossible.
Well, 19 chaining and Puyo versus 2 is like legit just cheating. It's not really that special.
retreat! Yeah!
It looked cool, but you can ghost infinitely in Puyo vs. 2. That's not really supposed to be an intended mechanic.
I want you.
Will you cheer for me?
Okay, maybe I'll make this one the last one, and then we're gonna go watch someone else's stream. How does that sound?
One.
Okay. Don't fall in column 3.
1, 2.
Oh boy.
1.
Mistakes are made. Oh.
1.
Oh.
2. 3. 1. Fortune.
2.
Wait.
3.
1.
Thunderstorm.
3. 4. Exquisite.
Okay, good thing I saw that. They didn't have enough time to
I've
dig.
been finished.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stream snipe? No, I'm just like hosting, right? Oh, no, that's not how you do that. Oh?
One, 2.
Oh no!
Dark magic.
1.
Come on,
2.
block most of this,
Let's
please.
dance.
Phew, okay.
One,
1. 2. 3.
1,
4.
2,
5.
3,
6.
4,
7.
5,
8.
6,
9.
7,
10.
8,
11.
9.
How's this strike
Shockwave.
you?
Curses. Curses. I've been finished.
Thank you. Thank you.
A fan server. I do need a couple more room fans in my room. It gets hot here.
Very good!
It's showtime.
One!
Oh yeah!
1!
1.
One!
2!
Oh,
Hey, watch it.
they two'd. Oh gosh.
1!
1.
2!
2.
That's everything.
3! 4! 5! 6! 7! 8! 9!
1.
10! 11!
1.
Will this be enough?
3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10.
Aw.
Here comes the groove.
2!
Uh-oh.
3! 4! Clear the mind! Exploding me!
Oh, I needed a green.
Did you enjoy my technique?
Assist? Tail? Am I doing this right?
1, 2,
Oh,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fighting Queen!
6,
I want to learn how to do these 2-column tails correctly.
9. Spin it. Oh no.
Did you enjoy my technique?
Fan server. I really appreciate it, but I don't know. It's already enough keeping up with the Puyo Discord. We're growing so fast.
Very good.
Why does everyone drown in Puyo? No, it's just Cirili and Tsuketodara.
It's my turn.
I don't have to manage it at all. I don't know how I feel about that though. In this recent well, it's not really recent, but
1, 1,
you know,
1, 2.
YouTubers doing terrible things. I still feel responsible.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh, did I get this?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Oh no, 13!
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Take that! 1, 2, 3. Wind kick! Oh no! Oh no! You'll pay for this! Victory!
What if you told someone Puyo Puyo Champions was educational because of the counting? It's definitely already educational without the counting. You learn stuff like friendship, despair,
1,
the value of life, the power of ultimate evil.
1, 2. Hey, stop!
Oh,
Uh-oh, did you enjoy my technique? One. 1, 2, 1. How dare you! 1, 1, 2,
oh, okay.
1,
This will have to be a...
2, 3, 4, 5,
It was getting a little too dangerous up there.
7, 8, 9. Violet! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exploding! Oh no! 1. You'll pay for this. Victory!
I don't know, I think it needs some time to think about it, Galmon. Oh, it's the mid-level guy!
Are you prepared?
S2, have you been to a Puyo tournament? If so, have you won? I've been to Puyo tournaments local to me. And I've won. I have to say, if there ends up being Puyo tournaments around you all, be prepared for anything. Cause like, Puyo gets the ultra poverty treatment.
Thrashing time!
Oh wait, I thought that it would fall.
Do-re-mi. Was there ever any doubt?
I was gonna let it fall around my chain.
One, two, la la la. 1, 2, 3. It's over for you. 5.
Okay.
Static shock.
Oh, I got it.
1, 2,
No, I cut it.
3.
Oh.
By popular request.
Wait, what?
1, 2, 3. 1. Listen to this. 1, 2. No! Someone owes me an apology. Do-re-mi. One, 2,
Oh.
3. Frost!
No. I needed purple.
Do-re-mi.
I guess I should have made my chain safer somehow. I'm so sad.
The water's fine.
I want you.
If competitive Puyo 1 ever happens, it's just going to... Actually, it sort of does happen. It happens in like a Kusoge tournaments in Japan.
1.
They're pretty entertaining. Oh. What's this?
1.
1. 1. 1. 1.
1. 1.
1. Oh.
2. 3. 4.
1,
Night Blade.
3, 4, 5. Please go
I'm
away.
finished.
7. I did it.
Hey, I wonder if I can get this extension.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
1.
7,
2.
8,
3.
9,
4.
10, 11, 12,
6.
13.
Star Strike.
Cannonball!
Curses. Curses. I've been finished.
It's potion time! Let's go!
Oh boy.
1, 2,
My tail isn't that good though. That was a really good health harassment.
6, 7, 8. Supernova! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I won't lose! Luminescence, stop that!
Oh, I needed one more piece. I could have countered.
What happened? Yeah!
Hey, surprisingly there wasn't the Hellfire opener.
1, 2. Thanks for waiting. 2, 3, 4,
I'm getting outchained, huh? Whoa.
6, 7, 8, 9, 3. Supernova! 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I won't lose! Stop that! Stop that! What happened? Yeah!
Yeah, those harassments had... But wait! Yo! Wait! I went down to rank 2424! Oh my gosh! Okay, screenshot. I've never been so happy about losing in my life. Wait. Okay, print screen. Okay, I think I'm done for today. Huh? A meme number. 24 is like a pun in Japanese. That's basically a way of saying Puyo, but with numbers. Wait, F12? You know what? I don't know how Steam works at all. F12? Whoa! That screenshot taken. I'm so happy. Okay, thanks for telling me that, Nick. I didn't know. I don't really play PC games very much, so I have no idea how Steam works. Okay, let's find someone on Twitch to watch. Puyo Puyo Champions. Whoa, Wumbo's playing Puyo Champions, and there's bounties. Well, let's support Doremi. Here we go. Host? Here's Doremi's Twitch channel for YouTube chat. Okay. Thank you for watching. That was fun. I'll see you all maybe Thursday. Bye.